Edrise Masoné's reality show. So, this is where we're at right now. And the video is now divided into parts. So, this is part one. And I was so fortunate to get this quote from Brene Brown, who studied social work. She helps people with courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. Owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we will ever do. So I was doing Peace at the Beach, Spanish River Boulevard Beach, which doesn't have hotels on it and it doesn't have a lot of tourists like Atlantic Avenue Beach. The beach was really beautiful when I went that day. You see that? See how directly the sun rising up shone down on me? That's a beautiful picture. And I was just hoping that that light would be God's light that was enveloping me like that. But I'm not really a member of a church. I'm a member of Changing Lives. And we do worship and pray, but we worship and pray about difficult things. But fortunately for me, I get a lot of my pictures and my content from online. So I decided to put some trust into my life, and I'm trusting Palm Beach County and the Palm Beach Post. Now, the Palm Beach Post now costs $5. It's like a magazine, and I'm treating it like a magazine. I try to read a little bit of it at a time. I carry it around in my bag in a plastic bag to protect it. And Palm Beach Post Palm Beach County is a very special county, starting with Palm Beach Island, where the Kennedys used to live, all the way down to Boca Raton, with Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton. So I'm trying to align myself with Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, Palm Beach Post, AI coding, everything. So this was the 4th of July celebration. This was some fireworks. There were lots more fireworks, more beautiful, more stunning, but I didn't get those pictures. But the people who are putting out the fireworks, it meant something to them that it was 4th of July. They love their country, they love their life. So this section is self-help, and I get a lot of self-help online. It says, girls, celebrate yourself. No one knows what it takes to be you. It says the universe and me are aligned. So I'm trying to align myself with the universe. One thing about me, I'll start over 50 times if I have to. Change doesn't scare me. Settling does. A strong woman didn't become strong overnight. She became strong by overcoming all the things that were meant to destroy her. So a strong woman is not the one who doesn't cry. A strong woman cries and sheds tears for a moment, then gets up and fights again. That one says she found her peace within. So you have to have peace within you sometimes. And when I go to the beach, I enjoy that peace on the beach, especially before the sun gets really, really hot. I hope you're ready because amazing things are about to start happening for you. Well, for me, I think it's amazing that I found a company to love more than Walgreens. I was 5 years at Walgreens, and they were like family, and I used to shop every Sunday, and it was an incredible experience, and I still love Walgreens. But I actually found a company that's right for me at this point and this experience in my life. So I'm applying to that company. That's amazing to me to find a company that I really want. So this picture was a Chinese girl riding a horse, but what's amazing is that on this video, she rides the horse, and while the horse is galloping like that, she gets off and actually runs with the horse and keeps pace with the horse. It's incredible. She's very strong. A strong woman didn't become strong overnight. She became strong by overcoming all the things that were meant to destroy her. So I guess you have to admit that there were things meant to destroy you. Here's some religious quotes. The power of forgiveness. Let go of hate and resentment, understanding forgiveness and gratitude. God will bring the right things into your life. Embrace imperfections instead of stressing over every little detail. Now, the reality shows I'm familiar with. Georgina Rodriguez, I watch her on YouTube, and I admire her as a Spanish woman and model and mother. And the Kardashians, of course, they have a lot of kids. And of course, I met Bean Tracy, and she has so much charisma, beauty, and excitement. And she's Shea Boca, and she symbolizes everything Boca is about. Then she was with Alita, who says that women have to see what's on the menu. Like me now, I'm trying to see if this wonderful company is on the menu for me. So Tracy was actually at Mr. Batmasian's office. Do you see that smile and the light in her eyes? You can see she's such a joyous person, such charisma. Really admire her. And of course, Mr. Batmasian and Mrs. Batmasian, they have a charity called Changing Lives. And that charity is where I actually worship. It's practical, and having been a Jehovah's Witness for 30 years, there's a lot of contrast to the way I worship here at Changing Lives and how I worship at the Jehovah's Witness Church. I also worshiped at Boca Raton Community Church, so I can compare all these things. And I'm so grateful to Tracy for her videos of her visit to Cuba. And of course, we found a little information because the embargo on Cuba started in 1958. So those cars are from 1958, and they get parts from China and Russia to keep them maintained and looking in good condition. There are pictures of the videos of Cuba, so they didn't come out very well, but that's Havana. My dad was born in Havana, Hotel Malia, a $10 breakfast. And then there was a concert on the top floor. A lot of Cubans were attending, and that's a restaurant that was also on the top floor of a building. And I got to see this video and get close to my father just around Father's Day. So I got a Father's Day present because my dad used to make flan and tamales and speak Spanish, and he brought his unique Cuban fighter character to our family. So I really appreciate this from Tracy. Now, Chris from the Kardashian show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, she said she loves all her kids the same. And she says we're older is not much more time. Anyway, I'm back in coding class, and I take it little bits at a time. And fortunately, the format of the coding class is good. I also got some mentoring certificates from mentoring and consulting. So I tried another coding class. It was incredible. The environment was so wonderful and professional, but I didn't want to pay for that. So I'm back in my coding class. And who is going to be working? Here are the robots in China. China shut down a lot of the traditional factories because they're bringing in the robots to work. And here's a human plus robot. Here's a business manager robot that works with a computer. And I remember listening to the video, all the different tasks that this business manager robot does. And I would like to have a robot like this assist me as Chief Operating Officer. So I was here at FAU for 10 years in the evening classes, and I graduated 2009. And I want to thank Walgreens again for the learning about the business model and seeing the environment in Walgreens store, the training store, district training store in Delray Beach. Incredible experience. I'll never forget. That was one of the happiest times of my life. Well, right now I'm struggling with something. I have to admit I'm older. I have some obstacles. Some things went wrong. But as Alita says, we got to see what's on the menu. So I hope this company is on the menu. But I'm struggling, which is contending strenuously against the system. You know, what the system says about women of my age, women who are Cuban, Jamaican, women who who I am. Like from the school of Elon Musk, I say, I'll say what I want to say. So I have to leave this campus and go to work and follow my passion. And my passion is with a new brand, and I'm really applying and trying to work at that brand. And I know about the theory of build kill. So FAU is doing some construction in the library. The library was already modern and good looking, but I guess they're going to improve it. This is about energy. She's not out there sharing herself with anybody and everybody just so she can feel wanted. And I think that's one of the mental illnesses some women have, that they share themselves with anybody because they want to feel wanted. So here's an option for women to match energy. You have to be out there matching energy so we won't be an idiot instead of sharing yourself with all kinds of people. So I learned recently, because of a lot of activity that China has been doing. One of them is China built the first toll highway in Jamaica, and then China did a lot of infrastructure projects all over the world. And China's presence in BRICS, and the new Chinese president, he has such a personality. And I was learning about Chinese culture because they did some phenomenal projects in China. I watch the videos all the time, water projects, all the robot projects. So I do kowtow because kowtowing is about courtesy, dignity, and respect. And I really like those things. Now, the school of Elon Musk. You have to go deep into the underlying principles. He said winners believe in themselves. You have to increase value, speak less, listen more. Don't run on someone's advice, earn more money, only obey your parents, and speak respectfully to people. He also mentioned complex concepts, which you have to put into words. And really, my videos are full of words because I've been involved in complex concepts starting from 10 years old in Jamaica. So from the school of Elon Musk, he said, I'll say what I want to say. And he said, freedom of speech costs him $2 billion a year. He said, if nobody helps you, do it alone. So just because I didn't get that job from that brand, I applied to be an assistant program manager for home and design. And I did not get that job, but I applied for other jobs, and I saw some jobs that would have me using some phenomenal software, AI software. So he said, it doesn't mean it's impossible. So because I didn't get that job, it doesn't mean it's impossible for me to get in the company. He says, winning is a mindset. So here's a complex concept. This reporter, I can't remember her name, Megan. Yeah, Megan. She interviewed Trump, and she went to see Putin in Russia. And the concept of kindness and reciprocating kindness was explored because Putin was kind to her, and so she, in her news report about Putin, she was kind to him. She said he's strategic. So we have Kamala Harris, said women are to dream and believe in themselves. Of course, my life coach Priyanka Chopra Jonas, living her dream with her little girl and having two countries, India and the United States. And she goes back and forth. It's incredible. So my favorite princess, Meghan Markle. At 11 years old, she said, if you do not like something, tell the right people. You will help a lot of other people. So there's a lot of things I do not like, and I analyze it, but I analyze it along with you in my videos. I say, how do they do that? So this was some spiritual hygiene I also got online. Use only new mirrors. Don't get a used mirror. Use untouched salt. Only new mattresses, only new wallets and purses, only new locks. And this spiritual hygiene transcends cultures and millennia. So this section is called kindness and gratitude. So I did experience kindness this session, and a little kindness can change the world. So at the Boca Raton Plaza Hotel, I get free coffee in the morning. That's the coffee station right there. But I'm going to plan a meetup on meetups.com for Sunday, July 26th. That means we have breakfast at the Hideaway restaurant and walk up to Publix and get your lunch, your picnic lunch, and go walk over to Spanish River Boulevard Beach. That's what the meetup is, but I didn't put it on meetups.com yet, but I will start drafting that. That will be a pretty decent meetup because you get to eat and then you get to experience peace on the beach. So that's the walkway to the Tiki Bar. It has all those really wonderful plants going to the Tiki Bar and the pool over there. Looks so holistic and organic. And my only place of worship is Changing Lives, which the Masons have a charity called Changing Lives. And it does much more than pray. It does other things. It prays and it has prayer and other things to help people who are getting started out or changing their life and improving their life. And also, very important, it's about negative habits which drain your energy. So that's what Changing Lives really focus on, people who have a lot of negative habits that drain their energy, drain their mental abilities, and cause them mental illness. So I'm a hostess down there Saturday mornings. I'd like to express gratitude to Florida Atlantic University for the nice technology tools I have access to in the library. Now they have a thing that you lock your phone in while it's charging so nobody can touch your phone. And of course, their desktop has everything you need, usual stuff, Microsoft Office and all that stuff, but it works. The system is very good. And then I'm in the computer lab right now making my video. And I want to show gratitude for my 10 years at FAU and the foundation they gave me, and building up on that foundation, AI coding, and learning about the future of business. I'd also like to show gratitude to the director of Changing Lives. He's a PhD, and he's Dr. Barry. And Shane, the realtor, I was a realtor, but I was not a good realtor. So Shane is also a gorgeous guy. And these two guys remind me of my two sons. And we were at the Juneteenth festival. And whenever I see them, I feel a little better. So it took 57 years to get over the Jehovah's Witnesses. It took 23 years to get over my son's accident. It took 8 years to get over being bullied out of my municipal job. It took 10 years to get over losing my condo and my dream house. So now I say no to the wrong people and the wrong situations, not my family. See, we are a unique family. We are Cuban and Jamaican, and we were interdependent for so long, but we had a lot of synergy too in Jamaica. So the things I say no to is because of who my family is. So that's it. No is no. Do not allow your right brain to hurt you. I allowed my right brain to hurt me and did some crazy things a few times. So I probably should put this on that mentoring brochure that I'm putting together. I don't know if anybody will appreciate that brochure, but I am putting one together because I took that class at Verizon and it's very informative. I'm not your China doll. I'm not docile, obedient, and not submissive. Never give up. 98% of the trouble is when you give up. There are people who are there to ruin things. People love to ruin things. And I'm afraid I had some people ruin my dream house and my condo and my career. But I'm getting past that because now I'm getting into the coding and the AI and the future of business. This slide is very interesting because it says, people who do not like you watch you the most. Nobody watches you harder than the people that don't like you. So give them a show they'll never forget. And then Bob Marley said, people hate real people, but they love fake people. So I never saw this quote from Bob Marley before, so I want to share it with you. So this is some history, section 6. This is for my sons who suffered most of their lives and were killed. So this is a picture of my little tyke at my mother's house in Jamaica. And my mother's house was in front of the elementary school, so we used to jump the fence and go to school. And somebody I knew just had me jump a fence and headed this way over to Florida Atlantic University. So that reminded me of my childhood. But I just remember how safe my son was there. This is his great-grandmother. And my mother had help in the house, so the help took the burden off my mother so that my mother could work in government until she was 75. And the help also assisted her with parenting and taking care of the children. So I think that my son would still be alive if when I went here, he was looking so happy sitting there with his little bowl and his little cup. I should have left him there with her. Anyway, so 2 out of 3 of these boys were gifted. And one is now a PhD in neurosurgery, and the other one is my son is now dead. But I know that if we had been treated fairly, we were given a chance to go to a judge in the divorce case, and the judge would have said, well, I want to keep you in your school where you tested gifted, and I want to keep you in your house. Your mother's been working since she was 17. It's simple. It was something simple, but people have control issues and headship issues. So my son was not able to get a judge to protect him. And so we are one in a generation who is a PhD in neurosurgery and one was dead. So to bring some awareness for families all over the world, or mothers all over the world, in this picture, 2 of these ladies, their mothers went through difficult divorces in New York. Now, we know there is a certain amount of volatility in the United States, and half of all marriages end in divorce in the United States. So, considering safety and taking chances and your choices, this one, her mother worked for IBM in New York, and she went to school at an Anglican school in Jamaica. This one went to a Catholic school for girls in Jamaica while her mother was in New York working for the court in New York. And these are my sisters. So we all grew up together. We had a Christmas dinner every year. We had a lot of closeness and synergy. So this is what our clan looked like at Christmas. And those Christmas dinners were very special. We look forward to them. She had a great house on an estate, and there were other houses on the property too. But she had a restaurant, bar, and bakery, and he was the chief of police. So we had a certain amount of synergy bind us together. And we took care of each other's kids, and we really did love each other and trust each other. I cannot begin to tell you of the day-to-day issues in the USA and everything I've lost. I just want to tell you this history. It's truly amazing to me, but 1967, a big white male came to my parents' house in Jamaica. My dad, as a Cuban fighter and a mechanic in the Royal Air Force, told him we were not interested. And then a white lady who was very sweet and nice came to the house, and she had Watchtower and Awake magazines. And because Cambridge University managed our high schools, we like to read. So I started reading the Awake magazine. It's like Reader's Digest of the Bible. Well, this organization, how it impacted my life and impacted the world, is like this. I think its control would be the key here, but this building was sold to the Kushners when Trump was president. So I think they are politically aligned with Trump and Kushners. And I think for me, that was the thing that made me stop attending Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall, because I felt that Charles Kushner went to prison for not paying his taxes, among other things. That was number one. And number two, it was sold while Trump was president. So there were two things that I felt that they were pulling away from the Bible and becoming more government and more monetizing. So that's control of political power. Then on Facebook, they had a posting about their rents and their bank accounts. And Marilyn Herman, who is a Jehovah's Witness, she did not like it. I did not like it either, but I believe that when they posted, it showed another kind of control, because they control banks, bank accounts. And if you have a lot of Jehovah's Witness bank accounts in a certain bank, then you do have a little more control, or you're a VIP status, so you have control over the funds and the accounts. So the next control is, I helped the Jehovah's Witnesses. 20 quick build supervisors came from the headquarters and supervised 200 volunteers, including me. I did installation on a Kingdom Hall in Lake Worth. And they sell these. Somebody converted a Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall into a residential house. That's easy to do because most Kingdom Halls are one-story building on a very nice property. So they control United States, 23 billion in land and buildings all over the world, including my mother's neighborhood in Jamaica and some other properties in Jamaica. Next thing about control is, when you look at this assembly, you see all these people. In those Kingdom Halls, they keep records of everybody's name who is attending that Kingdom Hall. So these people do not celebrate birthday, nor Christmas, nor 4th of July. So they control millions of people. Now, I just want to say that the control of headship, a man being a head, it hurt my son because my son was not protected by a judge. And my son needed and deserved to stay in his school and his house. And I already covered that earlier in the video. This is just some history. So I worked for the city of Delray Beach while they had this master plan for the gentrification of Atlantic Avenue. Of course, you have all the tourists who come. I saw Venus play tennis at the tennis center, but it's wonderful to watch those players. They're really good. So they have this master plan to take 2 blocks north and south of Atlantic Avenue all the way to the beach. So they have a lot of new hotels. And the Rays, my favorite, is a green glass hotel. It's so beautiful. So I dedicated this poem to the Jehovah's Witness US 23 Billion Global Building Project and to the City of Delray Beach Master Plan Gentrification Project. Build and kill, build free killed, build and killed, build and kill, build kill. Kill and build, killed and build, kill and bill, kill pay bill, kill bill. So American hunter-gatherers invaded Jamaica in 1967. The airport is really close to my father's and mother's house in Jamaica. But I brought the enemy into my family. My ex-husband did not allow my son to be represented by a judge in our divorce, and that hurt my family. And I have a picture of the Kardashians talking about your family. This whole thing hurt our family very much because we were close and synergistic. And it was simple. My ex-husband didn't even know that I was working since I was 17 in the summer. And I worked for the government of Jamaica. So I had to present my resume to people in government. But I'm over it now. I don't have to work in government anymore. I want to work with Yangodi. But I had some issues that I needed to cover government, and I covered them. Took a long time emailing Congress, House, Senate, etc. I still do want to go to court. So I get this deep sinking feeling when I think about my little tyke. My relatives here, they took the restaurant, bakery, and bar concept from Jamaica. He was the second generation, took it to New York, had a partner, was very successful, and his wife was a school psychologist and a realtor, Kai's. So they got pretty wealthy, and they had this pretty gaudy sofa. But that's my little tyke sitting on the sofa there. We took a picture of him. And that's him getting older. And I realized perhaps the only person that I would ever trust in my life, I was not able to keep him alive. So mothers, I just want to tell you that you, especially mothers with sons, your son will be the person you will be able to trust. So I hope I heal before I die. I want to retire happily. It's a life project.